All right, I don't want to keep y'all long, but I don't like to just people to not get to know each other a little bit. I'm Sherry Jo Watkins. Obviously, some of you know me, some of you do not. And some of you know me from different levels and different places. Some of you mentioned C-Suite for Christ. Some of you mentioned Bold, Brave Me. There are other people in our midst that can mention a whole lot of other things from way back when. But the reality of it is that every connection that we make at each place, we have an opportunity to be able to either say, you know what, I'm going to run with this. We're going to do these things. We're going to invite more in and grow from there. Okay. Bold Brave Me is the nonprofit. And it was not my idea. I did not want to do it. It wasn't even anything that was in my heart, but God gave it to me and I didn't even know why. I was this little blonde hair, blue eyed girl from Nowhereville. When it was time for me to step out from healthcare, I knew I could no longer make the impact sitting behind a desk worrying about somebody's Medicare penalties. I was supposed to do more. God made me for more. And when I did that and I stepped out, what I found is that it was so hard to get started, to get on those stages, to get the opportunities, because people will list you places, they'll let you pay for it over and over again. But in reality, you do need that. You got to be seen in a lot of places, right? But I'll never forget the day that a guy said to me, Sherry Jo, listen, I know you're amazing, but don't talk to me until I can go to your YouTube channel and flick my finger 6 times and not run out of Sherry Jo. Okay. And I was like, what? And then I was like, okay. So then I hooked up with people and I wrote my first book. And guess what? I don't own it. It's my name. It's my face. It's my words. But I didn't know what I was doing. I don't own it. Okay. I've made so many mistakes. They said, you can't be on these stages until I'm like, fine, I will just make my own. And I did. And that was the very first speaker bureau that I started. It was called Motivation Unleashed. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to start this. And then I'm going to invite 5 other people who are better than me to get on my stage with me, right? And that's where it started, right? I ended up finding out exactly how ridiculously hard and expensive it is to get your first set of all the videos that you need and to get those headshots and be able to start your course and get it hosted and paid for it when you don't even have any clients yet. Or how do you do it without doing all the other things, right? So lo and behold, here I am. Like I said, I'm this blonde hair, blue eyed girl from Nowhereville. I am not related to anybody famous. I have never been a pro athlete. Up until recently, I had all my body parts and I've never been abducted. So where's the tragedy, right? And, everybody's looking for the tragedy in their life. But the tragedy that I always represented was very different. It's the tragedy of becoming average accidentally on purpose. Like every day we dull our sparkle, round off the edges, do all the things to get in the box, right? And that was the tragedy that I thought I was going to change the world with. Like, here we go. And then I got cancer, right? Then I got cancer. And so it did all the things, right? I didn't win at cancer. God won at cancer, right? I just had to show up and do the things. So after cancer, I'm like, all right. And you guys will all meet Kate Bays if you don't already know her. But Kate is a very good friend of mine. And when God gave me Bold, Brave Me in my mind, I'm like, Kate, we got to talk. We got some stuff to do. And so then I got cancer. Well, right after, I'm like, okay, put me back in. God, I'm ready. Let's get on stages. We're going to do the things. And I called up Kate and like, I need you to quit your job. You have to be my booking manager because it's time for me to get out there again. I got a better story now. And God was like, shh, sit down. Not about you anymore. Right? Not about you anymore. And so what she did was she turned me on to some other things and some other people and places. So I got involved in some other things. So lo and behold, what God actually told me was that, we're going to use all the things, Sherry Jo, all the things you did really good, all the things you did really bad, all the things you sucked at and almost took you out. And we're going to help others rise now. Okay. So we started off with this. We set out to have what was called Look Who's Talking Now. Like, you're all out there, but look who's talking now, right? It's us. It's time to rise, right? And so we did that. And we brought 15 people, 15 speakers to Pittsburgh. 6 of them had never been on a big stage before. Some of them had been. It was a great variety. What happened was amazing in these relationships. Okay. We connected with publishers that are Christians that want to help others. We connected with, we have writers, we have publishers, we have authors, we have credit card processing companies. We have coaches from all different angles and all different kinds of things coming together for one glory of God. Right. And so things that happened immediately was people started getting more booking things and more booking opportunities. One person who had written a book before, all of a sudden she connected with the person that was on the stage. They did the things. Now she's a best-selling author. And this is literally happening over and over and over again because we're coming together with the right kind of heart. See, it's not about me. It's not about Ben or Kate or anybody, because Ben is on our leadership team as well. It's not about us as an individual. Like, we are called for such a time as this. Okay. And so what we're doing is we are, well, after Luke was talking now, I'm like, that was awesome, God, now what? And he's like, okay, we're going to go bigger. I'm like, what? We're going to go bigger. And so every time it was like the next thing, and I looked up the domain and then it was available. I was like, okay. And so then I looked up the domain and it was available. So the next thing you know, we now have getachristianspeaker.com, getachristiancoach.com, getachristiancomedian.com, get a Christian actor, get a Christian film actor, get a Christian model. And now God keeps bringing all these people that can help run all of those divisions right in place. Okay. In addition, we are going to be launching the antithesis kind of to TED Talks, which is God Talks. Okay. And we're doing 3 16-minute talks an hour for each day that we are doing those talks. They'll be shorter ones. We have 2 different coaches that actively are, one of them, her name is Amanda Banks. She'll be coming on board with us as a speaker coach. She was with me on the international reality show that I was part of, with a whole lot of A-type personalities where we did massive things. And she launched TEDx Hickory in Tennessee. And so she's been for the past 4 years helping people raise up, and now she coaches people for speaking that are really good at doing what they do, but she's helping them into those nine-figure categories, right? And so we have a couple of people like that. And then we met Pete, right? And so we're running it. They're like, what about Jesus? Like, let's have, Pete got sent because right in that same conversation, we're like, okay, well, why shouldn't everybody be laughing with Jesus? There are 72 groups, 72 Christian comedian groups on Facebook that started nothing after COVID. Nothing. Okay. And then it was like, okay, so then somebody else says, well, what about Christian models, Sherry Joe? Because I worked with a Christian modeling company. I could help get, okay. Right. Well, what about okay. Right. So we have, we're working with a couple of different companies to give us, to donate RVs to us so we can do Laugh with Jesus tours. Okay. We are creating our own stages. We're working with Dollyland actively in conversations, because we actually fully believe in those Christian parks, there should be Christian comedians and Christian performers on those stages. And it doesn't always have to be those that everybody already knows. Together we rise, right? And so it's super simple. And I'm going to tell you this too. We don't have it all figured out yet. Okay. You will learn one thing about me. Sometimes you might love it. Sometimes you might hate it. I am 100% transparent. I do not know how to say anything but the truth. Okay. And also, if I make a mistake and I'm not doing something well, I want people to point it out to me, because I need to be able to do it better. I don't always have all the answers. I really don't. This is not even about me. Okay. So here's how it works. We want everybody to win, period. Okay. It costs $250 to join the network. Okay. That $250 does the following things. 100 of it goes to the people that actually set it all up, because we have a whole team that's making sure that all the links works and all the things get set up. Okay. 50 of it goes directly to the grants and giving program, because that's the crux of everything that we do within Bold Brave Me through Bold Brave Believers. Everything we do has a give back component. So that we're pouring into the grants and giving programs. And I'm going to bring that full circle in just a moment, because it's going to be like, right? 50, so 100 goes to setup, 50 of it goes to the grants and giving program, 50 of it goes directly into your immediate marketing. Okay. And then the other 50 of it goes into the team to be able to build up the, do all the things that need to be done. Okay. Every month it's going to cost $20. 5 of it goes to the grants and giving program. 5 of it goes back into the marketing pool. Oops. Hi, Kamal. Welcome. He's coming in. 5 of it goes into the marketing pool. 5 of it goes to the people that are going to check all your links and update anything that you want every single month. Got a new video clip? You want it out there? Great. Got a new book? Great. You want this up there? Great. You want to say something different? Great. It's yours. You're a coach and a speaker and an author? Okay, great. You're only going to pay $250 once. Hi, Kamal. I'll catch you up on what you missed. You're not going to pay $250.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. We're not going to pay $250 for each of those pages. but you are going to get a profile and featured on each of those pages. Because if you're family, you're family. That's just how it is. Okay. Here's what else we're doing. That said $20 a month. It's $20 a month. Again, I mean that. What I mean is that we're not going to be like, oh, it's 20 of this, but if you want to do this, it's going to cost you 800. Or if you want to do this, it's going to be, we're not doing those levels. There are so many things that people need, and they only need them when they need them, and they don't need to pay for them when they don't want them or don't need them. Okay. So things like, I've got something going on, right? I've got an event. Maybe I hooked up with Joe. He's going to do a cruise for us because, we're doing that kind of, I think. We haven't talked about it yet, but we already know. So, sorry. Spoiler alert. So, but if we're doing those things, we all win, right? Okay. So if Joe has an event, he wants to highlight it. Well, maybe he does want to do an e-blast out to everyone, out to all the people that we're connected to. Okay. And that is going to multiply fast. But he could pay for that e-blast just like he would through a chamber, right? And put that out there. He might not need everything all the time. Maybe you want to be featured and highlighted at the very top of the list because you got something big going on. Great. We'll work it out. Okay. And so we do have a list of add-ons that we're very, very bold about and just saying this is what it is. It's going to probably change. It'll morph, it'll modify as we do more, and we say, well, that didn't go so well. Let's not do that anymore. But we'll all do it together. Okay. We're going to have things like every week there's going to be a gathering. Okay. If you can show up, show up. Okay. If you can't, you can't. Right. But it's a way for everybody to get to know each other because see, you know what? Pete might know somebody that Heidi should be connected to. Okay. Heidi might know somebody that Ben needs to meet. Okay. So because we all win. Now, here's what we're not going to do for you. We're not going to force you to give us a whole bunch of money for commissions and things like that. Okay. If you get booked, we're not the middleman on a lot of things. If you want us to be a booking agent for you, we have people that can do that. Okay. We're going to actively market and we're going to actively get you out there. We have podcast, 1 podcast, 2 podcasts, 3 podcasts. We're working on getting started on a radio show through Pete on that. We have 2 magazines that are launching. And then as we grow, we're going to be joining different chambers in different areas throughout the country. Okay. So when we join the 2 Nashville chambers, that's 96,000 people, 96,000 businesses as a whole that we're going to be putting you out there to. Because when you are part of this family, you're also a grant sponsor, which means that we are highlighting you as a sponsor for changing lives. Does that make sense? Okay. Everything has that give back piece. Okay. Now, because there's coaches and speakers and authors and all these things, right? We also have private groups that are going to be launching. Now, you as a coach or a speaker, you're going to be invited into those private groups. We're only going to ask you to not be super salesy in the group. Okay. But here's why. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to get clients. We're just going to ask you to not be super salesy in the group, right? It's kind of like networking, not networking. Networking happens when you do it the way that it can be done with Jesus. And here's where that is super cool. Our grants and giving program are based upon a $10,000 monthly grant that we're launching any minute. Okay. We're just getting the rest of the sponsors in place. Okay. And so there's 2 ways that those funds come about. Okay. It costs $25 to apply for the grant. And that goes towards them being obviously getting the grant checked, and that the remainder goes into making sure that the coaches that are pouring into them in the group are able to get some money back out of it and get paid while they're doing it to raise up others. Okay. Now what that really looks like is this. Okay. Everybody that applies for a grant, right, they get to be in that private group for an entire year. Okay. So you get to pour into them as a Christian for an entire year. And it might be where, like, I'm a mindset coach, you're a leadership coach, you're health and, your health and wellness, your Pilates, your finance. right? And now collectively, we are giving these people a leg up. So even if they don't get the grant, they still get access to Christians who want to help them rise for at least that year. Okay. And that puts you in front of a lot of people also. Additionally, because our platform has, has a lot of opportunities, we are able to have you set up any kind of coaching course that you want, right? Maybe you want to do a 2-hour thing. You want to put out a little offer, it's in there. And you don't have to build it and pay for it separately on a different platform. If you have something that you're offering somewhere else, but you want to build it here too, if you're part of us, you absolutely 100% can do that. Here's what we're going to ask from you. We're going to ask that whatever business that you get as a result of us helping you get business, that you give us back 10% if you're able. Okay. And then out of that, a decent chunk of that goes back into the Grants and Giving program so that then we can grow more. And every time we reach a different threshold, we're going to be joining a different area and a different location so that then we can expand even more. Now, I don't know about you guys. And I'm going to share a couple of things on my screen just to kind of reinforce, here in a moment, because it's a lot and it's fast. But the thing of it is that there are opportunities. The last couple of weeks, the timing of this is so Jesus, right? It's so Jesus. I've been listening to a lot of C.S. Lewis, old sermons. And there were, last night I was on my way back from Chicago from the airport at about 10 o'clock at night. And there was this one story. He was talking about how, that we had decades to prepare for changing our ways. And there were decades, to be able to get ready. Right. And I don't know how deeply Charlie Kirk's assassination hit you, but I'm more fired up than ever because we were made for such a time as this. It is time for us to rise. It is time for us to stop caring about the crap of nonsense that's out there in the world and be bold and proud of who we are to move forward. Not everybody is like me. I'm not for everyone. Okay. I am loud. I'm high energy. I'm high strung all the time. I do not sugarcoat well. I am not for everyone. That's why we need everyone. Right. So, it's going to change. We're going to morph. We're going to add on more things. Somebody else is going to come up with an idea. And we're like, oh, okay. Right. We started talking about laughing with Jesus. Is it available? Sure. I'm like, okay, well, how are we going to do that? We're going to have to take it on tour, right? Let's have a Laugh with Jesus tour. 12 minutes later, here comes an ad on my TV for Myers RV. Never heard of them before. And they're like, we're trying to get rid of all of our 24 and 25 RVs. We'd like to give you 50% off. I had a call with them next Thursday about donating one to us with a toy hauler garage and a deck, because why shouldn't we be able to take comedy into places that don't get to have it? Why shouldn't we be able to create stages everywhere, right? Why couldn't we? Yeah, exactly. Why couldn't we do all these things? That, we put so many limitations on ourselves. It's just so possible. So I am walking away from some of the things that I've been doing, not all the way walking away, not running away. The thing of it is that when God calls you to do something, you do it. So we are. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple of visuals. Questions so far? Some of you were writing down some notes. What do you have to say? What do you think about it at this moment, at this place in the talk? Nothing?
I think it sounds fantastic.
Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and then I'm going to actually just show you guys a couple of things here. All right. So this document. All right. Can you guys see my screen? All right. Can you guys see my screen now? Yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. I'm going to put this into a chat for you all, but this is really a roundup. I just want to kind of make sure that I've touched on everything, right? Simple and affordable, $250, $20 a month. We update everything. We're going to do marketing. We're not going to nickel and dime you. It's not going to be, oh, but it's this, oh, but it's that. If there's something that you want, we're going to have a list of pricing additional. If you need it, you pay for it. If you want it, you pay for it. If you don't, no big deal. You are still number one all the way around. Okay. We only ask for a 10% kingdom contribution. It is not a commission. It's your opportunity to give back to help another voice rise. Okay. It's paying it forward in faith. Okay. We simply you own all of your contacts. They don't have to go through us, or they can. You keep everything. If an opportunity came from us, we would hope that you would do the same kind of 10% back. Okay. If you build a course and you sell it on our platform, we will retain 20% because we got to pay for hosting it. Okay. However, you can put as many of them as you want, right? So 10% of it goes back into the kingdom for advancement. Then the other 10% goes to paying for the things. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're brand new, if you're just getting started. We have coaches that are helping people learn to speak. There are so many people that have great stories. So many people that have great stories in them. If you've lived this long and you're a Christian, you got a book in you, right? You should be connected with a publisher to write that book, right? There's no reason that we shouldn't. And we need to rise together because we were made for such a time as this. Okay. This is what it looks like. Okay. These are all the logos for the Christian Entertainment Network type things. Get a Christian speaker, get a Christian comedian, get a Christian singer, coach, artist, book, voice actor, filmmaker, model, actor, and then of course get christiantalent.com, which will be one of the external facing pieces, not connected today yet though. Okay. All powered by Bold Brave Me. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We also have a 509A2 designation as a religious charitable organization for whether it can be for education and for religious purposes. Okay. Because you would be belonging to Bold Brave Me, everything that you do, all of your payments, right, they are going to a 501c3 to support kingdom work. Okay. And so you can do that however you are allowed to in whatever state you live in. Okay. And I see that there's a bunch of chat things. I'll get those in a second. If they are for me, it might have just been people talking. Okay. Here's what Laugh with Jesus will look like. Here's God Talks. Okay. Which, by the way, I don't know if any of you know, just random trivia. TED Talks could not copyright their logo because it was just block letters. So interesting. All right. Here's something that you may see online. It's just a roundup. Okay. Kind of talking about all the same things and much less words than I used. And then there's one other little piece down here called Kairos Connection. And Kairos Connections we don't have on here yet because what it is going to be small groups led by our coaches to invite others in. Right? We don't exactly know how we're going to charge for it, if we're going to charge for it, if it's going to be sponsor oriented yet, not quite sure, but we know that Kairos Connection is gathering for such a time as this. Okay. The add-on opportunities that I mentioned earlier, this just kind of, solidifies it, right? It doesn't matter. You can put as many books as you want. You can put as many courses or host as many courses. We're going to be inviting everybody into the public facing groups and the private groups. Our private groups are hosted on our platform. They're very much like Facebook groups, except Facebook doesn't get any control. We do. Coaches, speakers, and comedians, of course, singers and music groups. I'm going to give you guys all this stuff. First and foremost, on the why we do this, this is absolutely critical. Okay. Every single thing that we do must fall in line according to the word of God. Must. Okay. 100%. If it is not biblical, if it is not scripturally sound, it does not belong. So if that is not you, Thank you very much. No, thank you.
I hope you smell the food.
And the last piece, so these are the ultimately these are some of the things that we were looking at. Ignore the prices. I'm taking those off because we don't know. That was like somebody telling me what you should do. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. But we're going to give you be able to do podcasts, magazines, video, reels, websites, social media, email blast, all those kinds of things. Okay. If you join, what we're going to do immediately, I'm going to send this to you, by the way, guys. What we're going to do immediately when you join, you're going to start getting a flurry of emails. You're going to be invited to set up your profile, which is like, tell us all about you, upload your videos, upload this, upload that, upload all the things. And then the virtual assistants that work with me, they'll reach out to you and be like, hey, we're missing this. Hey, do you want to update this? Hey, this link isn't working, or whatever. Okay. And then what we also do is then we've created an entire year worth of communication. We have something every day for the first 30 days and then weekly after that to help you easily be able to get engaged as a part of the Christian network, because together we rise, right? Together we rise. Together we are stronger, right? I liken it to soy. I'm a very recent breast cancer survivor. And they're like, it's not a big deal, Sherry Joe. It's just a little bit of soy. Okay, but if there's a little bit of soy in 2 million things that I eat, it's 2 million pieces of soy. Okay, the same thing, right? If each of us are doing a little part to help each other rise, even if it means nothing other than sharing things because you got tagged in it, right? It matters. Okay, so we're going to help each other. We're going to help each other. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually we're going to give you the things. If you want to post it, you post it. If you don't, you don't. If you want to share it, you share it. If you don't, you don't, right? But we want to make it so easy for you to be seen and to get out there and do the things, because we cannot let complacency set back in, folks. We cannot. Okay. That's everything. Okay. Oh, no, it's not. There's one more thing I want to show you. Have y'all been to the site? Did you check out the site? No. Okay. Let me show you one more piece here real quick. It's the ChristianEntertainmentNetwork.com. And let me see the windows. I guess I'll go to this one again, but then I'll go here. Haha, there we go. All right. Now, can you see my screen where I'm bouncing, powered by Bold Brave Me?
Yep. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So under the Christian Entertainment Network, and we are right now, I just want to tell you that there are a couple of, like, we don't have all of the comedians loaded. We're just loading in Pete's stuff. We don't have all the coaches loaded. We're loading in some of the things that we have until we get the people in. We've got about 14 people that have started just by word of mouth, and we're loading them up. So when you see me on a comedian, just know it's because I think I'm funny. Nobody else does, but I do. So some of us aren't going to be where we're put right now. We're just like making sure that it's not empty. So literally, I would love for you to come through and check this all out. It literally, we exist to amplify the voices, right? It is time for everybody to be heard. We're going to do weekly newsletters. We're going to do weekly promotions. If you decide you want to be with us, first, we're going to get you signed up for 2 different podcasts. We're going to do a bunch of interviews and put you in a magazine article. We're going to push those things out. We're going to tag you in a bunch of places. We're going to put together some welcome features, and say, hey, welcome to the Christian Entertainment Network. We'd like you to meet Pete. Here's what's going on. And then be able to have clickable things through them. Okay. We're also we have a team that we are engaging to actually be reaching out and scheduling calls with meeting planners and booking managers elsewhere so that they can get engaged with us. Okay. There's always enough pie. Always. Okay. I mean, you ever heard of the fishes and the loaves? There's enough pie. Okay. So it doesn't matter where you belong, right? If you got a message, it needs to be heard, right? So this is a kind of do it all. We have join the network or browse the entertainers, right? If we join the network, we're looking for Christian excellence, and then you choose your path. Do you want to join as a speaker or get a speaker? Do you want to join as a Christian coach, or you want to be a Christian coach? I mean, like, you want to get one. And we have all of these categories. Okay. Also, if I go back and I go browse the Christian entertainers from here, so let's say I browse speakers, And we start off with nice and clean, right? We want everything to be nice and clean. And this is the overall. Okay. Now, we want to view a profile. I don't mind showing you mine right away. So here we go. This is what my profile looks like for now. Okay. Me, all my stuff. Here are my links. A little bit about me. Here's a video for me. You can have as many videos as you want. A few of my signature talks. A little bit more about me, about our podcast. A little bit more about me. Where's my experience? What's my fee? You know, I don't want to put that out there. It depends on who you are as to whether what I'm going to charge you. Okay. So you can do however you want, right? If you have a set fee, great. Right? If you want to do it on a contingency, great. You want to do it on a donation basis, great. You want us to help you, great. We will. Okay. Education certifications, put them out there. Absolutely anything that you want. Testimonials, you know, you can have as many as you want or as few as you want. Okay. And it's really that simple. Okay. You can send a direct message. When you get a direct message sent, because we know that most of you folks are super duper duper busy, we are setting this up so that it goes directly to you and also copies one of our team for that initial reach out. Because just in case you're on the road, just in case you're busy, listen, guys, I'm that girl. Okay, I'm going to stop this share now. I'm that girl. Okay. If I'm coaching, okay, and I'm like all day Monday and Tuesday, I'm coaching. If you email me, I'm not even seeing it until like late in the day because I am not checking my email while I'm working with other people. So if you're busy and you're out doing something and somebody inquires for you and you're not able to get there, we're going to have an automated message set up for you that says, hey, we're going to get back to you right away. And also, we might reach out to them on your behalf and say, listen, you know, we just want to make sure, or if we don't see that you were able to reply, because we don't want you to lose out on an opportunity at that point, then we're going to be like, hey, so-and-so reached out to you, but we don't see a reply yet. We're probably going to text you, right? Those kind of things. But that way you don't miss out on that opportunity and nobody feels left behind. Okay. And like I said, you guys, we're going to make some mistakes. We don't have it all completely figured out. We're really banking on all the people that are going to be playing in the sandbox to do it with us, right? What you will find from me is that I'm always going to be on your side. I'm always going to support you. If something does not go well, you know what? We're going to talk about it. We're going to work it out, but I'm never going to throw you under the bus. You know, if we make, none of our team is. We're never, ever going to do anything but lift you up and have great conversations. Okay. And also, like I said, we're just getting started. It's going to be a big, big party for Jesus. I'm telling you. So, questions? Oh my God, it's 45 minutes. I didn't know if we could get it all in 45, but I wanted everybody to talk and meet each other, which you guys didn't get to meet Kamal. Kamal, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hey, I'm Kamal Latham. I'm an author. And I put together a video course to help people become better leaders, you know, as Christians. So very excited to hear about this program, Shari Joe. Well, I have the floor, Shari Joe. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How does it work if you've got a course? Like if you have a video course and it's all done, and how does it work if you want to connect in with the CEN, you know, platform, and if you want to have it promoted, what does that cost, you know, look like? Is it just 250 or is it 250 plus other costs if you want to have, you know, some upgraded thing to get you out to more people? How would that
Right.
look?
Okay, so in those kind of scenarios, so number one, depending on what platform your course is already on, right? What we do is we work with you on exporting whatever data that you might have, whatever videos, and then we upload it, right? We can either build it for you based upon the information that you have and build it into our platform, or and then that only costs a wee little bit of money because the VAs to help us do that, right? They're really, really good. The people. And we're going to go in about the platform in just a second. So, and if you want to build it yourself, then we just give you access to it and we show you how to do it. It works very much like Kajabi does, except for you don't have to go through all the Kajabi stuff, right? You can put as many videos, all the course materials, attachments, all kinds of stuff. It's super simple, and relatively easy, quite honestly. Now, and the other piece of that, which you asked about the finance piece of it. So our platform is a Go High Level platform. Okay. And there's a lot of versions of Go High Level because Go High Level is a reseller platform. I work specifically with a company called the Iconic CEO, and the owner of that company's name is Carlos Adel. He is a fabulous man, and I did not want to like him. Like when he reached out to me and said, "Hey, let me talk to you about this," I'm like, "No, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket." No. He said, "Let me prove it to you, Sherry Joe, please." Okay. I'm their biggest fan. Like I have my face on the website because of how much better they've made my life. I have VAs that I work with through them. It does cost me money to do that. They have helped me advance so far, so fast. This guy said, "I will not do you wrong." So what I said is, "Hey, listen, we're inviting all these people to come do these things. Some of them want to build courses, but you should not have to pay $2,000 or $3,000 to build a course and then $500-600 to host it before you even have clients." Right? It's just too hard to get it up and running. So why not build them here? So I said, I want you to work it out with me so that if people want to build their stuff here, and also as they grow, if they want to then export it, do it on their own, let's make that happen. And why don't you give us a discount for it? And he is. So he's working out a plan so that, start out this way. And when you're ready, then we're going to help you migrate to your own version of it, right? At a discounted rate. And you guessed it, he's also agreed to a give back to the Grants and Giving program. Okay. And so just the power of yeses are just magnifying. And right now, some of you heard Veronica, Albert, you were here from Veronica and Steve. Right now, we are actually in the process of helping her get her stuff in to make sure that we iron out some of those fires, in the process. But yeah, great questions, Kamal. Okay. Yeah. So, is it going to be expensive? Nope. Period. See, when all of us together, it doesn't need to be expensive. That's the bottom line. Okay. All right, Joe. Thanks. We need to. I know we need to talk. So all right. Awesome. Other questions?
So, Sherry, I just want to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying. So when Sherry and I were coming up with names, Christian Entertainment Network, think about it as Comedy Central has a network for you watch whatever comedy shows you want. And now we have streaming, now we have all these services. And so you're on a streaming service. And your net worth is your network. And so what's amazing about having this platform and being on it together as Christians is there's going to be times that I'm going to a speaking engagement and I'm hearing that, hey, they need a comedian, or they need this, they need that. And so our brand, and we will build the kingdom, and we will be able to build ourselves. So it's God first, goals second, and that will work hand in hand, because we'll have instances with this network where I know a Christian comedian, I know a Christian. So really, we're going to be able to advance the gospel. And for me, more importantly, the message of it is that a lot of Christians, a lot of people coming back to the word, back to the church, they are only visiting God on the weekend. They're only treating God like a part-time custody, like seeing the Father on the weekend. So we get to go out and we get to get people to sit, right? Whether it's the comedy shows or the speaking engagements or whatever it is, we get to get the people to sit at the tables, and that's going to bring them back to the pews. And so we really get to go out there and advance the gospel together. And that's where this network is really going to grow, because we're going to have a network to just reference everybody, get it in. And again, we're just basically streaming everything in. We're taking the Christian Entertainment Network, like Comedy Central has their network, but we're making it bigger and better, in my opinion. So I just want to share that little insight to see if that would help explain to anyone as well with the vision.
Yeah. And I forgot to say, we actually have that domain too, Christian Comedy Central. So.
Sherry Joe, can you just explain a little bit about how would you be marketing the people in the group for their various, whether you're looking for a comedian or speakers or that kind of thing?
Right. So there's a variety of ways. I'm glad you asked. And we're going to be adding more and more on as we are able, right? I am in the process, some of you know, of, like I said, of minimizing some of the other things that I'm doing. So what we're going to be doing right away, we're going to have a weekly newsletter publication that'll be going out. We focus on speakers 1 week, coaches 1 week, but then, so we have this much for the coaches and then this much for the speakers, but then we're always peppering in. We are going to be doing blast out some of that marketing money that I talked about, it where everything goes into the pile, right? We're going to be doing e-blasts and marketing through all the chambers of commerces, both Christian and secular, all throughout the organizations. Because see, when we belong, now we can do marketing where we're actually promoting all the people that work with us, right? And so when we do an e-blast through XYZ chamber and we're marketing, here are the people that we have, and we do it as a PDF, now we're able to link out to your profiles. Hey, if you're looking for so-and-so, this and that, and then you guys are actually going to give us, like, what are the things that I really want to go after, right? What are the targeted industries? Because it's not going to be very long that we will grow to the place that we're going to have specific people that are reaching out into specific regions for specific people in specific industries. Okay, I'm already working with ODJFS, which is Ohio Means Jobs, and then from there we'll go into into other avenues of folks that are looking for ways to enhance their own income. And also, listen, you know how it is when you get excited about things, you just talk about it, right? And so that's the thing. Like, we're literally going to find the avenues. Okay, so right now I have a list of over 4,000 regular conferences that happen where we have all of the conference organizers, right? And so we have a list of Christian businesses in almost every state gathered. And I don't necessarily mean that they have to be, we do Christian things, but the owner has said they're a Christian. Okay. And so we're reaching out to them to become sponsors as well, right? Because see, businesses everywhere, people want to make an impact, but we don't think we have enough money. We don't think we have enough time. We don't think we have enough resources, and we don't think what we can do will matter. So we don't do anything. Okay. So we're also making it possible for businesses everywhere to do like $100 a month as a sponsor. Right. And now, so what, how many it takes? We're all grant sponsors and we're all changing the world. Now they're excited, they're engaged, they're going to talk about it too, right? When we're doing things and we're sharing and we're tagging them, now all of their people see you too, right? So each business that works with us, when we mention them, those people see you. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be so it's like a mindset and momentum. Like, action doesn't, or motivation doesn't create action. Action creates momentum that drives motivation. That creates more momentum that drives more motivation. And so it's getting as many people at each level involved so that everybody's impacted. Right? And now everybody wants to have a piece of it. We're at a place right now where, as Christians, we get the opportunity to really reach out, right? And listen, as professionals, it's hard sometimes. Like, I was that girl, Queen Corporate. Yes, do the right things for the right reason all the time, and I did. And also, it wasn't me at all. It was Jesus, right? And so, now I get to say things like, and because I'm a Christian, this is how it impacts me. Or because I'm a Christian, this is how it works, right? I don't have to be preaching to somebody in order to impact them, All they have to do is see the joy. I had 7 conversations. Listen, I was in the airport for 4 hours yesterday on my way back from Chicago, and I almost missed my flight at the very last minute. I was waiting for 4 hours working because I was talking to a guy. We just got talking about Jesus. I thought he was from Texas. He had a giant hat and boots. He was from Boston. Right? And I was like, are you on your way to Texas? He's like, no, Boston. And I had a faith t-shirt on, and that was all it took. And he asked me, what do you think? How do you feel about that Charlie Kirk thing? Man, next thing you know, we're talking about this, we're talking about that. Dude's on fire. Right? Almost missed my plane. I was the last one aboard.
Thank you, Sherry Joe. I've got to run to another call, but I appreciate that. So
absolutely. All right, you follow up with me. Any questions? I hope you are interested to join, my friend. Any other questions? No? Okay. So next steps, if you're interested, please ping me directly, right? And let's do it. It's easy. It's fast. It's time to run. You know, there's a lot of things in life I don't have a lot of control over, but you know, when God says go, I do. So here we are. All right. All right. That's all I wrote for you today, guys. I'm going to email all of you I'm going to email all of you all that document, all the links. If you're interested in getting started, we're going to get you started right away. I highly recommend getting in as quickly as you can, because it's going to be a wild ride and a great party. So okay. I love it. Questions, anybody?
Thank you, Sherry Joe.
You're so welcome. It's good seeing you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
We'll talk. Thanks. We'll talk. All right, guys. I love you all.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you,
everyone.
Joe. Excellent
Nice to meet everybody.
presentation.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Thank you. Pete, are you okay?
Yes,
You
yes,
okay?
I'm here.
All right. Well, I mean, I just saw your thing. It said you fell. Okay.
Oh, I fell, yeah, yesterday. I fell real hard on both arms. Yeah, but I'm okay. I bounced back real good.
I got you. All right. Well, listen, since y'all are here, I'm going to pray us out if you don't mind.
Please do.
Awesome. All right. Our Heavenly Father, we are so, so grateful and thankful that you have allowed this opportunity for us to cross paths no matter how it happened. Lord, we only ask that you keep us whole, that you keep us safe, that you protect us, build a hedge of protection around us every single day that allows us to feel your grace and your mercy, and fill that with fire so that we can't help but it spreading out to the world. Let me live in such a way so that those that do not know Jesus will want to know Jesus because they know me, Lord. And I thank you for these folks that have come to us. Lord, I hope that they go out and have great days, and that people can see the joy in them, that they just have to have what is inside us, because it is you, Lord. All of this is you and none of it is me. Thank you, Lord, that you trust me enough to give me stewardship for your network. In Jesus' name, I pray that you bless us every single day, Lord, and guide our path and order our steps so that we do not falter and we do not stray and we do not make this about people, but we always keep it about you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sherry Joe.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, bye.
Bye bye.